Whew, child. Let me put my light on. Guys, what am I doing back here already? This makes no sense. Hold on, let me turn the light all the way on. I was just here not too long ago, as in yesterday, and I have a bun, so I think the machine is having a hard time catching my bun. Anyways, I've been in my sick bed expecting to be asleep. This is the most sick I am all month. And if you don't believe me, there's literally a heating pad that is keeping me up for this live. Okay. I'm sitting here wrapped in a heating pad. And somehow, with one eye open, I managed to do a sick bed compilation and a storyline for us to talk about. Don't ever say that I don't love y'all, because this very much is because the Blue Crew was hitting me up and not because I wanted to or planned to. But it's okay, though. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Even though I'm having a sickly week, it doesn't mean the world is stopping. And honestly, I made myself a little cocktail. Hold on. For those who are Caribbean, it's a sorrel, but sorrel, I think in America they call it hibiscus. We call it sorrel. I was like 30 before I realized that hibiscus and sorrel were the same thing. So this is some of the sorrel that Estelle makes. She makes really great sorrel. And I put some frozen pina colada mix and maybe a splash or three of Malibu. Ooh. Bitch, that's just like vacation. Okay. So I just basically made a sorrel pina colada. Yes, baby, hibiscus is sorrel. I was just as stunned as you are. Why do I have the news stuff? I don't like this media asset. Hold on. Let me change this real quick. There we go. I'm about to be like, what is that? All right, family, we're going to get started. This is delicious. My God. Oh, bitch, we might get lit today. Okay. Sorry. That was much better than I thought. Anywho, for those who have been under a rock, actually, no, even then you would have heard it because I was under the sheets and I still heard it. Chelly and Ace have been confirmed by Chelly to have broken up. And before anybody comes in here, I need you to understand, I've never, ever, ever, ever disliked Chelly. And despite the lies y'all have been told, I've never slandered her. You can like somebody and give honest opinions when they make missteps. So if you're here because somebody on Twitter lied and convinced you that I hate Chelly, then I'm going to be disappointed in you. I've never hated Chelly. And for those of you who are not that great at snooping, me and Chelly are both Haitian. If you go back to the very first Love Island post I ever made, I was excited that there was a pansexual Haitian girl because I'm a pansexual Haitian girl. So the fact that you guys somehow let the internet convince you that I hate a girl who is the closest facsimile to me that has ever occurred in reality television history. I'm not going to say you look stupid, but you don't look smart. Yeah. I know it's not fun, but I've always liked Chelly, and I've always made it clear for those who are not allergic to nuance, I can like someone and still call out a misstep, which is all I've ever done. And so I wasn't gleeful this morning when I found out. Funny enough, the post where they announced it, you know how you can see how long the post been out? The post had only been out for about 45 seconds when I saw it. Not even the Shade Room. Somebody else posted it before the Shade Room, actually. And so the fact that I saw it within 60 seconds of it, and then literally within minutes, my phone started getting flooded by people sending it to me. So Part of the reason why I'm doing this today is to tell y'all, yes, I saw it. Please stop sending it to me. Love you. And number two, because I'm going to say something that I want the Nicolandrians and the Chelly people to all hear at the same time. I went on Jesse's show and on my own show and ended up on God knows how many other places clipped up to the point where y'all think I do TikToks, and I don't. I don't do TikTok live. So the whole Blues be on TikTok live, no, I don't. I don't be on TikTok live talking to nobody. When the clip goes viral, it travels. So despite what everybody might think, I am not going to gloat because for one reason, I am not a hypocrite. We all have moments of hypocrisy, but being a hypocrite means that hypocrisy is a defining character trait. Hypocrisy is not a defining character trait for me. And I've said on the record several times that I don't care if Olandria and Nick last forever, because just the fact that they happened and they found each other and they created this beautiful moment together is enough, right? Love doesn't have to last forever for it to count. If I have been going around saying that about Nicolandria, I have to say the same thing about Chelly. And for the person who said she is never a shaded Chelly, she only called her out. Yes, baby, I'm going to teach you a word that you should look up if you're confused about something this obvious. It's called being complicit. When someone you love is standing next to you doing something that people consider harmful and that later proves to be harmful, and you say nothing, that is called being complicit. It's a whole word in the dictionary. Look it up. The act of doing nothing in the presence of harm is complicity. So I can call somebody out for being complicit without disliking them. Are you clear? Are you clear about where you are? And there's no dummies here, so any questions you ask actually have answers. Are you clear? Are you clear? There are a lot of places to feign confusion about the obvious. This isn't it. Anybody else have any questions? Because I do have fucking answers. Lovingly. Okay. If you're still confused after 6 months, this is not the space for you. I'm going to call it out. If 1 + 1 is still 7 for you after 6 months of this bullshit, this is not the live for you. Pretend to be confused. Oh my God, I'm sincerely so confused. Do that somewhere else. I wasn't shading Chelly. I was using her to shade you. Be clear. Okay. So like I was saying, no more questions? We good. If I say that love doesn't have to last forever to matter for Nicolandria, I have to say the same for Chelly. It wasn't mean. It was calling out somebody who was seeking to undermine the chat by feigning confusion to create division. It wasn't mean. I was being compassionate. Compassion doesn't always feel good, but it wasn't mean. Another lesson, nice means just to stroke someone's ego. Nice has no integrity. Someone can be nice to you and make you like them while lying straight to your face. Kindness is demonstrative. I'm a teacher, guys. Kindness is demonstrative. I do kind deeds. Compassion is the best of both, where I'm doing something kind, i.e. good for you, and I might consider being nice, but I'm always making sure that you are safe. So even if you're uncomfortable, you're never unsafe. So could the person who asked that rhetorical question thinking they were clever be embarrassed that they came into the wrong space to do that? Sure, but hopefully it grew them. It wasn't mean, it was compassionate. Mean would have been me cussing them out. Words mean things, guys. Every time you're uncomfortable, it doesn't mean someone's mean. Sometimes it means they're not playing along. I wasn't mean. If it's not mean to come in here and feign confusion to cause derision, then it's also not mean to clarify it without calling somebody out of their name. No one was disrespected. Being uncomfortable doesn't mean you were disrespected. It means you're being pushed to grow. Anybody else have anything to say? Because I feel like there's some new folks in here who don't know how we roll. I'm an emotional. Let me introduce myself. Hi, guys. I am Blue Telusma. I'm a writer, a producer, an emotional intelligence coach who uses pop culture and politics to teach compassion and accountability, self-mastery, and ego death. I'm speaking to you quite literally the way I'm supposed to for my profession. It's not a fluke. It's going to keep happening the entire life. So again, guys, as a sign of compassion, not performative niceness, because one is just meant to stroke the ego. The other is meant to hold space and show respect, even when you don't know how to respect yourself, right? So Does anybody else need a second to maybe leave because this is not the space for them? Because we're not going to be kikiing. We're actually going to be having intelligent dialogue using this pop culture moment to hopefully make you see yourself. All right? And by the way, me making this space for you to leave is also compassion. I don't want you to sit here for 2 hours embarrassed. I don't want you to sit here for 2 hours in your feelings. I'm an ego death coach. The discomfort is implied. Yeah? All right. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to play the evil eye dog bell that you guys are asking for in the chat to the new folks, because I feel like there's been a lot of new folks lately. We have a bell that we play whenever we just need to clear the energy. A little bit longer than usual. All right, so now that the dogs are playing, hold on, let me change my background back to my regular background. All right, guys, so I feel like we've reset the room. Yeah? Everybody ready? Everybody feel good? I actually feel great. And I love the dogs too. I feel great. And also, you guys, just because I'm a passionate communicator, I'm never angry. I'm just always trying to be clear. Okay, why is the lighting? I'm trying to fix the lighting because the lighting is graded. All right, guys. All right. Y'all got snacks and stuff? That drink is so good. My God, today. That is fucking delicious. I might have just made my favorite cocktail of 2025 because I don't drink much, so there's only been like 3. I might have just made my favorite cocktail of 2025. That feels like a good omen for today. I'm wearing chartreuse for those of you who missed Mondays. Was it Monday? Yeah, Monday's live. I said that I love the color chartreuse because it's hard to like feel too sad when you're wearing this vibrant, like golden, green, yellow color, right? So I put on my chartreuse to like brighten me up and that cocktail so I feel good. All right, for those who have been under a rock, here is a quick, now I will say this, I got a little, because I was sick and the edibles that I consume, legally obtained in the state of California, the edibles that I consume for my menstrual cramps, that's why I'm so sick, guys, they make me a little loopy. So I got a little whimsical with the editing. When you a little, halfway to the moon and you got a live in a couple of hours and you just editing stuff, I will say this though, my ADHD plus my the meds plus the fact that I'm worried about copyright means there's going to be a lot of quick cuts, guys. The quick cuts are intentional. It's not my ADHD, although it doesn't hurt. It's the fact that we can't go past about 6 to 10 seconds per certain clips. And so I tried to find fun ways to slip in inserts to keep the narrative going without this being demonetized. So if you have ADHD, you're going to enjoy this. If you don't have ADHD, you might still enjoy it or have a headache. I don't know, child. I just work here. All right. You guys conjured me up. I already went live. I usually only do 2 lives a week. This is about to be my third. So somebody said, saying Blue literally sitting here with my heating blanket. And also we're on the same page. I didn't get to smoke because I looked up and it was already 8:30. All right, guys, let's watch a quick compilation to catch everybody up. Because again, we always want to make sure that even folks who do not live on social media can understand and play along. All right, let's watch this. By the way, this is a video of Ace and Chelly, you just saw, dancing with their families at Thanksgiving. And I also sliced it up with a video of them talking about the first time that they said I love you to each other. Because again, I'm not a hater, guys. I'm a cultural critic. So if you came here thinking, oh, she hates Chelly, that's not actually what I've ever done. So I think when any couple that I think was a beautiful couple, regardless of how I think that Ace acted towards his friends, in a relationship, I'm sure he was lovely and sweet. And so I wanted to make it a point to show the sweeter side, because I do believe that love still matters, even if it doesn't last forever. And I want to take some time for us all, Shalace, Nicolandria, the agnostics in between us, to just recognize what they had before whatever the fuck this is.
I just touched down on a
So cute.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ace, and I'm here with my queen, hashtag the most beautiful woman in the world, my girl Chelly.
Wait a minute.
There's actually a lot just happening and stuff, so.
Oh, are things okay?
Shelly, y'all get in here. Get in here.
Well.
Are we okay?
Are we moving? Okay.
Are we moving on?
So Ace and I actually decided to part ways.
Cause why am I scrolling on Instagram and I see on the shade room that Shelly and Ace broke up?
Yeah.
This not for real. Is this for real?
Wait.
Yes.
Oh my God! Did you announce that?
No.
Oh my God, Shelly,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, don't. It's okay. Please don't.
By the way, Charlize, if any of you ever see this, what does it feel like though when you like someone and start hating other people, not on their behalf, but on behalf of their partner, and now their partner has fucked up and they're separated? Because I feel like there's some people who really like Shelly and were only having Charlize's back because they like Shelly, but now that Shelly and Ace are no longer connected, it's almost like, how do you keep, like, does he lose you in the breakup? This is a real question. Does he lose you in the breakup? Because you never really a lot of y'all didn't even fuck with him. You were only, by the way, as you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking down at some of the clips that didn't make it in because I didn't want to be late. So I'm going to try to keep editing as we're watching. But no, like, because I know the same thing happened with the Chris and Huda people. They all only loved Chris because of Huda. So I was just like, well, when Huda and Chris like fell out, how did y'all reconcile that? Like, how does that work? This is a sincere question. I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. All right.
This cannot be for real. I just saw them on an interview together.
Man, I got family members I ain't talked to in years. Yo, that's my cousin on the TV. Yeah.
They just was in pictures holding hands. Now I know. A picture is a moment in time.
It is.
But still. Ace, is this for real?
I was very sure of what I wanted to do, and I wanted to take that next step and ask her to be my girlfriend. I also wanted to make it memorable.
Shelly, is this for real? Like the shade room punking us right now?
Like, it's okay.
How are you feeling?
I mean, it really was a tough decision, like for the both of us, and like, very hard to decide. But can somebody confirm this for me? But you know, when you love someone, sometimes loving someone means letting go. So,
by the way, guys, I know what it's like, and I know y'all hate when I talk about me and my past infatuation with Leo men. Haven't had one in quite a while. But like, I know what it's like, and I think a lot of us do, to go down bad riding for your person, and then y'all break up, and then you have to admit to yourself how much shit you agreed to, not because you agreed with it, but because you wanted to be agreeable to him or her. So many of us know that particular kind of egg on your face. And I'm saying egg on your face, not to taunt, just to like be honest about how it feels. Because be clear, Shelly's a Virgo. I'm a triple Virgo. I'm a Virgo stellium. And we can put on a brave face and we can sincerely want to do something righteous. It doesn't mean that it doesn't sting, though. Just because Shelly is well-spoken and speaks like a Virgo and is very intentional about her language and is cautious in her communication skills and all that good stuff, doesn't mean that underneath all that PR spin and all that reasonable dignity that she's earned and deserves to keep, is like, nigga, I feel stupid. I took bullets for you for months over some bullshit that you did because you felt a way about my best friend and your homie getting put on ahead of us. And I couldn't embarrass my man, which I don't disagree with, guys. I don't disagree with not embarrassing your man. I just disagree with you pretending you're not going to pay the price. If I had a homegirl, and this is just me saying me, right? I'm speaking for me. If I had a homegirl who I was cool with, but there was some strife between her and my nigga, and me and her are cool on a scale of 1 to 10 at like an 8 or 7, 7.5, 8, right? But I love him at a 10. If I decide to ride for him and risk our friendship to have his back, no part of me is going to feel a way about her feeling away. I'm going to understand that her feeling away is the price that I'm paying for this difficult choice that I still fucking made. So I never had an issue with Chelly having Ace's back. I just thought it was intellectually dishonest how anybody could be surprised at Nick and Olandria feeling a way about it. Just because you made a choice that's reasonable for you doesn't mean the people who are impacted by your behavior can't move in a way that's reasonable for them. Am I crazy? I've made plenty of choices where I've said, hey, yo, this is what works for me. I feel really fucking good about this. I also understand that so-and-so is going to be collateral damage. I can live with that because the thing I chose is a bigger priority to me. Which means if they feel away, no problem, bro. I get it. I get it. You feel away and I still meant what the fuck I said. That's how I would handle it. What I wouldn't do is play victim and act confused. Not saying she did. I'm saying a lot of the fans did. We're confusion. Y'all saw how I eradicate fake confusion in this room. We don't play that. Feigning confusion when you just don't like what you already really know is a manipulation tactic, right? It's a outlier, a symptom of cowardice. I have sympathy for coward, but I am not one, right? By design. So what Chelly did, I don't disagree with. And I think that's the part that a lot of people miss. What I disagree with was playing damsel in the face of such a gangsterly choice. Choosing your nigga over your girl is a gangsterly choice. Gang, sit the fuck up in it. That was my only point of contention, right? Let's play this real quick before we continue with the compilation.
A couple PSAs. Chelly got me in the divorce. Still don't like Cookie. Probably don't even like Cookie even more now. Chelly, chin up. And Chris is not an option. No further thoughts.
Just so we're all clear. Okay.
I think we just got to that decision.
Yes, I saw Kamari, bro. I saw it.
We love EJ.
Also getting to a point where because you both have love for each other, to end it before that ends. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then like it was like a scene straight out of like Love Jones or like Love and Basketball type shit, right?
Exactly.
So it came from like a mutual level of respect.
A mutual level.
By the way, for the person who said not here for the Shalandria, I think a lot of people feel that way. Do you even think that's an option? I don't think Shalandria is a option in the sincere sense. I think even if they deeply love each other and forgave each other, it would still be appropriate for them to have space as far as publicly being friends. Now, if they're privately building behind our backs, then fuck us, it's none of our business, right? And I agree with that. But I think publicly, it would be stupid for Shalandria to come back, even if it happens privately. Because you guys know public and private are two very different things, right? That's why you'll see a Democrat and a Republican arguing on opposing pulpits and then catch a video of them in the New York Post having dinner together afterwards. Because one is public and one is private, right? So because I understand the difference between public and private, I think privately they can do whatever they want and whatever works for them. Publicly, it makes no fucking sense for Shalandria to ever be a thing within the next 6 months. We need to already be on season 8 before we have any sightings of them locking arms. Not because I don't want them to be friends, but because I want them to keep it private. Again, public versus private. It will take at least 6 months of them either healing alone or healing together privately before it can be strong enough to withhold their friendship being scrutinized publicly. Again, guys, I worked in politics for a very long time. I was a political strategist behind closed doors for several people that y'all know. And I always used to tell them that like saying nothing is better than saying the wrong thing when it comes to PR. So if Shalandria happens publicly, I hope I don't hear about it until Love Island season 8. I don't want to hear about it until next spring, like late spring at the earliest. So when they should be doing dual photo shoots. Right now, they both have already separated from their men. Olandria, as far as we know, is still with Nick Olandria, but they have started branding themselves as separate entities so that they're not stuck being just couples content, which is brilliant, by the way. A lot of people don't realize that when you are a singular act who is doing well, a little bit of free game, and then you become a couples act, but you let the singular act die away, you've just lost 2/3 of your revenue stream. By being a couple that is still strongly branded individually, you get triple the streams of income rather than just one that is dependent on somebody else. Would you want 3 streams of income available for you as a couple, or would you want one fragile stream that only lasts as long as the relationship? So whether it's a breakup or a strategic move by a PR team, I love that Chelly and Olandria are making the winter of 2025/2026 a moment of ladies' night, a moment of them standing on their own feet, right? I don't want them to stop doing that, not just when it comes to men, but when it comes to each other. I think they both need to fortify themselves as such strong individuals. By the time they become friends again, it's like Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton. Kim Kardashian, it took her several years of being Kim Kardashian before she could be in a room next to Paris Hilton and not disappear. And she knew that. By the time she introduced Paris back into the fray, her spot was already solidified. I want Black women to move with exactly the same level of strategy that these women do. I'm sorry. So I know that's not the kumbaya answer of, oh, I want them to link arms like the sisters from Color Purple immediately now that Big Bad Ace is gone. That is so stupid. No, I don't want that. I actually want them both to win. I don't want like a cheap ego stroke for the stands. No, it's just Chelly has been restrained thus far, sometimes to her detriment. I hope that restraint is applied continuously until it's safe for her. I don't think Chelly's going to be safe for a while when it comes to public fodder. I think she's going to be a divisive figure to some people, despite how much people initially loved her, simply because of Team Huda and misled Nicolandrians who think that Ace and her should pay for each other's sins in perpetuity. I think once you break up with Ace, I can't hold him and you. I can't do that to you anymore because that's not your man. But not everybody knows that. Some people will hold you to what your ex did, even if you are pulling away pretty quickly. And no shade, no tea. They've only known each other for 5 months in the show. They've known each other previously outside of the show, but their relationship was only 5 months in its whole inception from beginning to end. And them being official is only like 2 months. So I don't like what happened in August, but I like that it ended this quickly if she is sincerely having a change of heart, which, by the way, is speculation. We don't know. I have a strong inkling. In fact, while this video is playing, I was going to do a tarot, class next month about relationships and how reading tarot for your personal relationships is always interesting because it's so attached. And I happen to be looking for something for tarot class when I think because the algorithm knew I had been looking at Chelly and Ace videos, it gave me something from an astrologer who I guess had gotten her hand on their natal charts. I didn't even know that was publicly available. Some astrologer got her hand on their natal charts and did a natal chart assessment of their relationship. I have not completely watched it yet, but I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it and edit it and post it up. So let me find it while I'm playing this for you guys.
Of respect and understanding that, we wanted this to work, but sometimes things don't work.
So I'm helping her take her braids down, and then boom, she turn around and go, babe, I love you so much.
Couples go through things that are very challenging, and sometimes the best thing to do is just, make a decision that needs to be made.
I was like, I love you too, girl.
That's what you remember?
I remember it.
I'm always happy, especially with you. So, having you with me has made me the happiest person.
Chelace and 5 stands. Y'all good? Are y'all good over there? Are y'all good?
More than anything, I'm just grateful, happy, and, adjusting.
Because it was definitely Chelace in 5. Chelace in 5 months.
You've always been my rock throughout this whole entire journey.
I don't even mean to laugh, but I just think it's extremely funny. Because Ace was busy calling everybody else's relationships fake.
Yikes.
The whole time they still together and he ain't even with his girl no more.
Yikes.
And, spending time with you in the outside world has definitely made me a better person. I'm just excited.
My personal opinion, I don't know. I'm just saying what I think. I think Chelly broke up with him because he ruined.
I think we all think Chelly broke up with him. Can we give our good sis some credit? I think we all think Chelly broke up with him. I actually think they both sincerely cared about each other. I don't think their relationship was a scheme that Todd set up. I think there was true feelings. I think there was true attachment. I think there was true chemistry, true sexual spark. I think they had all the makings of a great couple, but I think that even if they had been the same age, Chelly probably would have been more mature than him. And so her being more mature than him already just in the disposition, and then him actually being 5 or 6 years her junior, and the fact that those years are happening in your 20s when it's dog years. So a 5-year age difference when you're in your 20s is like a 10 to 15 year age difference for when you're in your late 30s, early 40s. Had it been she was 40 and he was 35, I don't think this would be a big deal. But 22/23 to 27/28, 29, those years are way too impactful. In one of those, in those situations, only one of them has a frontal lobe that's even fully congealed. We're not even dealing with the same neurological functioning. Not to be that girl, but like our brains are not even at the same stage. Like yours is still chewy. So yeah, I think it was obvious. I don't want to pretend that, oh my God, I'm so shocked, because it would be so fun to feign confusion in that way. And that seems to be the word of the day. Probably, you know why feign confusion is the word of the day? Because Chelly's tagline was always, I'm sincerely confused. I'm really confused. Like, I guess it makes sense that confusion is the theme. And that's not shade. That's just me perceiving what's actually happened. But because of that, I don't know anybody who's outside of their extreme fandom who's shocked, because even like their pretty entry level fans are all like, yeah, we saw this coming, girl, get your bag. And by the way, I really hope she gets her bag.
Ruined her brand. Bro self-sabotaged their brand, ruined their image, and now she's looking at Olandria cover Harper's Bazaar, and she's like, fuck Ace. And I feel her. She should have left that little munchkin in the dust a long ass time ago, if you ask me.
The way he looks at her, the way she looks at him, it's like they can't stop smiling.
Okay, so what's so funny is, remember when Chelly's mom was so excited about Ace, but Chelly's dad looked so nonplussed? Like, he was like,
What do you guys think of Ace?
I like him.
Yeah,
He reminds me of your dad.
I like him. He reminds me of your dad. And her dad doesn't look excited about that. Maybe it's not because he disagrees. Maybe he agrees, and that's why he don't like Ace. He was like, I was a piece of shit. I don't want you to be with somebody like me. That'd be deeply ironic.
Are you ready?
Chelly, real quick, can you say vote for Raquela?
What we voting for?
She's running for student council.
Is she a good person?
Yes.
She treat people right?
Of course.
She's not a mean girl?
She's not a mean girl.
I love it. Sorry, my video from the psychic lady, from the astrologer is popping up, because I feel like the astrology girls are going to want to see this, and I haven't seen it yet. So y'all know I love having live reactions with y'all. All right, it's right there. All right, so I love when people are messing with you and you get to the place of healing where you control. I heal pretty fast. If you mess with me on Monday, I will be trolling you by Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning. So the fact that she's got to the place where she's like, is she a mean girl? I was so happy for that. I was like, oh, you're trolling. I hope you're healing.
Vote for Raquela.
So why did audiences punish Chelly and Ace for openly strategizing on one of the most watched shows of the summer? And
so the question is, why are people so deeply offended by how Shalace openly, because it was so brazen. Even people who love them can admit it was so brazen. It was so brazen how Ace thought he was producing the entire show, and Chelly was hyper focused on producing herself. Again, I understand the reasons why. I understand why Chelly, as a Virgo Black woman who's pansexual and an immigrant and dark skin and all these things that would make her a mark, I see why she had to hyper self-police. I just know that Ace is a Leo. In fact, I found out that Ace is a Leo stellium. So Ace being a triple Leo, it's not his fault. It's a learning disability. If you're a triple Leo, not a triple Leo, the poor boy never had a chance until he matures and or gets a therapist, right? So him thinking that he can run the entire show without anybody noticing, and her saying, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to make sure I'm good, are very much Leo and Virgos on TV behavior. Can we all agree to that? But why did it offend us so much? I wanted to find a video with somebody trying to hypothesize why this is so unpleasant to watch once you clock it. Because even if I like somebody, if they're too contrived, it makes me want to gag a little bit, like, oh, you're ruining the fun. So why does it ruin the fun?
how does that tie into the betrayal that's inherent in all reality television? It's not really about these two people, because honestly, we as the audience don't know them. It's that they try to beat the conceit that makes reality television interesting in the first place. Ace and Chelly try to get around one of the most foundational aspects of reality television since the dawn of the genre itself, and that is insufficient consent. In a controversial decision.
Insufficient consent. Okay, this is going to sound a little bit off the cuff, but I remember I had a friend who was really obsessed with like anime porn. I know this is going to sound crazy. Corn, I should say, because it's still YouTube. And my friend who was obsessed with anime corn, was showing me some video. I was like, oh, this is wild. They're using their Walt Disney skills for this. And at one part, we ended up seeing like, they say like what's up next on the website. And it was all these videos from Asia of like girls in like schoolgirl uniforms and random old men are groping them, or women who are shy and don't want to have sex with their husbands on their wedding night. It was all this like, oh no, I know consent. By the way, that's not supposed to be an Asian accent. I'm intentionally doing a Spanish one because I want to stay in my own fucking lane. So this thing of, oh no, sir, don't do that. What is that? That's so big. There's a thing that audiences like about power play in that way. Yes, I'm talking about corn, guys. It's corn. Yeah, corn. So, and I hate to say it, but the implication that the consent isn't equitable is something that, whether it's sexual or non-sexual, audiences do have a very weird relationship with. Can we all be honest? It's Friday. Can we all be honest, right? And so when we're watching reality TV and the villain and the hero think they know what's going to happen, and the producers say, surprise, that feeling of you can only consent but to so much, because at the end of the day, somebody bigger than you is going to pull the strings. We love that as a public, and that's international. I cannot think of any reality show that's successful where there isn't an element of the producers are creating a world that's slightly out of your grasp. And so even when you think you're above them, they know better than you. The house always wins. Isn't that what they say when you play poker in Vegas? That feeling of the house always wins. And seeing how humans behave when curveballs are thrown their way. We're robbed of that when you're watching a show where one contestant is so clearly attempting to run the show and might be succeeding. There's a fun in that is subconscious for a lot of us, but only obvious when it comes to corn. That's why I mentioned corn, guys. Corn is a situation that's so extreme, in that moment you can't help but clock it. But it happens in many other forms that are way more subtle. And reality TV is one of those places. We like it when there's a fast pivot. But it's hard to enjoy a pivot when you're watching people produce themselves. That's what I think she means. Now, if I play this video, because you guys know for time, because I was sick, I couldn't watch all the videos. I just saw the beginning and then cut them at the end. If we watch this video and this lady's saying something totally different, my bad. I still remember what the fuck I said. That's what I think she means. Let's see if I was right.
That annoyed audiences, these two dragged out their relationship. This is a show about...
Yes, like Big Brother, exactly.
About becoming a couple to win a prize. They thought that would secure their chances of winning, and they had this idea in their head, this fixed idea of how to play the game. Yeah, it didn't work. Reality television, like Love Island, is about presenting a game to an audience that has winners and losers. There's a prize, there's manufactured high stakes, and always elements introduced randomly to heighten tension. What those challenges are, that changes on the theme of the show. Is it fitness? Is it love? Is it loyalty? But what do they all have in common? Insufficient consent. Contestants, yes, they consent to be on the show. They obviously know they're on a show. They know the premise of the show. They know the basic rules. They are aware of what the agreed on prize is. But production always holds some cards back. They reserve the right at all times to know more information.
Okay, so she and I are on the same page. Whew. I was halfway through that speech and I was like, girl, you're making a huge assumption. If this lady's talking about something else, you just waste everybody's time. So I'm relieved that she and I are on the same page about the consent being, or the perception that consent is not fully being given, is a shadow side of why we are also drawn to reality television, particularly when it's any kind of competition that deals with love and or money.
Than the contestants. They reserve the right to control the flow of information to some or all of those contestants. Production also controls information about the timing and the introduction of new rules or new information. If there's a new element or a challenge or a twist to a pre-existing challenge from the format of the show, that's up to them to know. What contestants consent to for the duration of the shoot is that information balance.
Thank you. Oh, I love smart women when we come together to use our powers for good. And I think the reason why it's so important to discuss a misstep that was made is because I have concerns and or suspicions about what casting is going to be like for season 8. I think season 6 was the pure season where it was pure organic magic. Season 7 was a competition to see who could be the most contrived. And then it became into a competition to see whose fandom could be the most violent, verbally and psychologically speaking. Season 8, I think, is going to be particularly intentional. I think season 8, the casting for season 8 is going to be way more intentional than we've ever seen it. I can already hypothesize about 3 or 4 game plans that I think producers will do to get just as much fandom and as much pandemonium as this year, but maybe less legally questionable moments of scandal, because they still have to cover themselves for liabilities. So I have a couple of theories. I think by the time season 8 of Love Island comes out, a lot of people are going to be seeing season 7 as a cautionary tale on a lot of levels, because the fact that it's only been 6 months since we even knew these people existed, and only been about 3 months or so since the show really ended with the August reunion. Too much has happened. We're already exhausted. So another 6 months from now, oh honey, I can't even imagine somebody's going to end up pregnant.
And that in itself is what makes the consent insufficient or uninformed. You will not be given full details about the circumstances you're going to be placed in. You have no idea about the background of the other contestants you have agreed to live with for a whole summer. Do you get to decide what footage gets aired, or more critically, what footage gets cut? No. Historically, that imbalance didn't always have to be spelled out or even warned, because what researcher Emily Nussbaum found in her Pulitzer Prize-winning work on the history of reality TV that form of consent at all sometimes just didn't exist.
So wait, somebody won a Pulitzer for a piece on reality television? That is actually amazing. I had no idea.
What you had were just straight up victims. Back in the 1930s, not everyone had televisions in their home, but they did have radios. And that, of course, makes sense because it was only in 1927 that Philo Farnsworth discovered his dissector tube, which was the precursor to the all-electric television. And of course, World War II comes around, and people are not necessarily concerned with getting televisions mass-produced in everybody's home. That takes a backseat to the war. But in the meantime, we have this proliferation of this reality radio that's pranks and hijinks. What made these shows so funny to audiences is that the participants had no idea what was happening to them. They were unaware that they were being singled out by this production company for this corporation to sell ads. And then the late 40s and 50s comes around, and those same shows and the creators of the show are like, oh, we could just hide a camera and then show everybody this. But that, of course, had some backlash because people thought there was a cruelty to that because the anonymity of the radio was now gone. Your humiliation, your mockery, broadcast visually, nowhere to hide.
By the way, as she's talking about the history of how we got to reality television in the state that it's in now, you know what this always makes me think of? If anybody here, oh wow, I just got a super chat from Faith who says, hope you feel better. Last night had me in tears. Aw, Caribbean Massive. I agree, Chelly was complicit and I decided to pull my support, but I'm happy that she is now free from juvenile energy and content and hourly content creation. I know she was tired. That's such a compassionate. Can we all just acknowledge the compassion that's in the room and how you don't have to be Shellaced just to show Chelly some compassion? I've actually been begging for that this entire time. Instead of stroking people's egos with bullshit and then watching them be co-conspirators in their own demise, wouldn't it make more sense to compassionately call it out? Because respectfully, I do think that those of us who have been critiquing with nuance and intelligence and who have been saying things that might have been hard to hear, but were completely responsible, I do believe that we have something to do with Chelly not wasting more time than she needed to. I do think that that relationship may have taken another year of her life and of her safety and peace mentally. Had she not had so many women who look like her, who she might have been really cool with, because I think me and Chelly would have been cool. I think me and Chelly have very complementary personalities. So when you're getting critique from women that you know you probably would have loved and gotten along with outside of the man that you chose to be in a relationship with, it does something to you because you can't dismiss them, right? You can't dismiss them as stupid. Chelly is way too smart to have heard me and Jesse and everybody else talking and not clock whether I agree with them or not. All these women are not dummies. And I do think it had an impact. I don't believe I'm overstating that. On a show that is literally hinged on optics and public perception and public opinion, I think it's impossible to subscribe to Love Island in the way that Chelly and Ace have, in the way that Nick and Olandria have, in the way that most of the season has, and not also be impacted by that same thing, right? Live by the sword and die by the sword. So in a weird way, the same audience that was blamed for being haters is probably what pulled her out of a burning building faster. When people say public perception, made us buckle under the weight because we realized how we weren't as strong as we thought, and they don't ever say it the week after. They say it years later. Years from now, if she does a video about what really happened, because right now it's fresh and she owes us nothing. So she's giving the right response for right now. But years down the road, when she's deeper into her 30s and she looks back on this, she might say, yeah, now that there's nothing to lose and I'm happily married to somebody else, he, she, or they, and I'm thriving in my business, I can admit that y'all probably shaved 6 months off of my relationship with Ace. I wouldn't be surprised by that, and I wouldn't gloat. That's just life.
So reality TV expands, and then there's more of these shows that look like studios. You're brought on, you're playing a game, you're aware you're a contestant. Insufficient consent, of course, still part of it, but people are like, look, I'm here to play this fun game. And if anything, it's 15 minutes, of fame, 5 minutes of being on the television. The stakes weren't that high. They had an understanding of this. They were just here to win and leave. And audiences knew that these people were not necessarily coming to the TV to be seen, right? The dawn of social media influencing had not happened. You got your 15 minutes of fame, you kept it moving, you had the little fun of being on television and being seen by America. There was a forgiveness and a grace for that kind of excitement. There was a forgiveness and grace for you trying to maybe game that system a little more. Oh, how things have changed. Now, what you've seen on Love Island USA, especially after its very successful season last year and Bachelor in Paradise since it's come back, is an audience that is aware that these contestants are aware.
Thank you. An audience that is aware that the contestants are aware. Imagine if you were watching hidden camera shows where you found out all the people knew there was a hidden camera. You see, when I put it that way, that thought around insufficient consent and how subconsciously it's part of the allure of most reality TV suddenly clicks in for you. A hidden camera show is only fun because of insufficient consent. This shit is actually really fascinating. It really is a deep dive into the shadows of human nature.
That they are being perceived. Everyone is perceiving everyone. There's an attention that does not fade after the show wraps. That makes the audience, like the one that watches Love Island USA, far more critical of your behavior. Audiences are sold by the production company that they are getting a product that, yes, is manufactured, but has real people with real drama.
Exactly.
Corporations are sold the product of audience attention, and that audience attention will remain because there's just enough reality to keep them hooked. Contestants trade privacy and parity of information for the chance of exposure. That's the part they don't want to talk about too much on the show. What they do talk about is that they're trading those things for the potential to win the prize.
And by the way, the prizes on Peacock are so cheap. $50K. Didn't Ryan spend his entire check on like a Rolex allegedly?
No, you and I know that the prize of $100,000 is, yes, maybe a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to what you could get in terms of free Polestars and Cheeto contracts. And audiences know this. We're not stupid. We know the real prize is fame, but still want the drama, still want the juicy story. So you have to give the audience what they want. They want to see beautiful people in.
But the thing is, seeing beautiful people be ugly on the inside past a certain point goes from being entertaining to being nauseating. And I do believe that Love Island this season crossed that line on several occasions. Because you're right, $50K after taxes is not enough to be sequestered for 2 months, guys. You think it would be enough until you were about to lose your mind and realizing that you were only going to get about 20-something, 30K tops. And that you had a bunch of bills that you hadn't paid because you were on the show. And by the time you paid those bills, you probably only have 11. And God forbid you have to get hair and makeup and glam for everything you do post-show that you're not getting paid for and coming out of pocket. It's not as much as y'all think. And I'm not being eat the rich elitist. I'm just telling you about how taxes and keeping up appearances can eat away at $50K very quickly.
Beautiful places living out juicy storylines. So audiences can sense and they get upset if you, the contestant, are not playing by the rules we all consented, audience, corporation, production company, contestants, together on. Ace openly playing the game by several steps ahead was interfering with the audience's ability to enjoy the show. In the reunion, Ace and Chelly kept repeating this line that they've been saying for a while about their beliefs about how to do the game right. This, though, however, incorrectly presupposes that there is one objective way to play Love Island, that these are well-known rules and that they are set in stone. But audiences can intuit that is not the case. One, we know production retains the power to dump people off the island whenever they want. They don't have to wait for a fire pit ceremony. They created the fire pit ceremony for crime.
Wait, Brian and Elon are out in Jamaica? They're out in Jamaica? Interesting. All right, so this young lady goes on, and I agree with everything she says. I also think, though, that good or bad, and tell me if you guys agree with this, I think there are people who are going to see the longevity of being gross, the longevity of the racism and the sexism and all the other isms, and they are going to perceive that as something worth emulating and risking. Maybe that's just my opinion. I don't think everyone is going to be as grossed out enough not to replicate. Some people think bad attention is better than being irrelevant. And I hate to say it, God, they're going to try to do another Chelly and another Nicolandria. Am I the only one who believes that? I sincerely believe they're going to try to replicate at least one or even more of those power couples. Now, hold on for a second. I'm going to play one more.
Whatever portal that was opened by this Love Island cast is finally being closed with the end of Chelly and Ace's relationship, because the fan bases have been fighting nonstop since this summer, and I never understood it.
True.
Let's be real. Chelly was in her late 20s. Ace's brain is not even fully developed, so it probably wasn't going to work in the long run anyway.
You're on the same page, sis.
And also, I really do feel like that Ace interview stunted whatever growth Chelly could have had from being on this show.
Guys, there's nothing like an immature fire sign to sabotage something that they would have normally been able to keep and even grow from had they simply just relaxed. Most of my best friends are fire and air signs.
Like, her and Olandria was supposed to be hand in hand with this whole celebrity, stardom.
Paris and Nicole,
I feel like the fact that they weren't able to kind of cross promote with each other, it kind of affected Chelly's rise.
A lot.
Am I the only one that feels that way?
No, we all feel that way.
Anyway, I do feel like it's probably for the best, like maybe they could circle the block in a few years. I don't know, but Chelly is at that point in life where I'm sure she's ready to settle down in a few years. And I don't know if Ace is ready for that. Like, maybe I think he needs to live.
She's his first girlfriend, and it lasted like 2 or 3 months after they became official. He's not ready for that.
Life a little bit more, grow a little bit more, learn how not to be a hater, okay? Because I feel like that's probably a part of the reason why they're not together. Like, he seems like he wants to be the star of the relationship, and I think Chelly is.
Now, here's the thing. For those who are still freaking out that I announced a couple minutes ago that Ace is a Leo stellium. For those who don't know what a stellium is, it means you have one sign in at least 3 different places, right? So of your 12 major components of your chart, your natal chart that people look at, the main one, your main chart, there's 12 placements. If at least 3 out of those 12 placements is all the same zodiac sign, that zodiac sign has basically staged a coup on your chart. So I am a Taurus, right? Your sun sign, this is only for the astrology girls. If you don't like astrology, you can take the next 10 minutes off. We're about to do astrology for about 10 minutes before we do the next part of this live. But your sun sign is just a cheap trick that they use to sell newspapers. They were trying to figure out what's the laziest way to cut up people's astrological signs, and realize that sun signs was a cheap way to throw everybody born in the same month all in one lump. That's the only reason they picked the sun sign. It's not the most important sign. The most important sign is your rising sign. It's the most important sign in your entire chart. And though, if you have a stellium in another sign, then that also becomes the most, if not second most important sign. So I am a Taurus, right? You'd be like, oh my God, Blue, you're a Taurus. So you're so Taurus. But my rising sign is Gemini. And if you see how quickly I pivot, even though I am very slow and meticulous like a Taurus, you can see the Gemini in me. That's why I can do 4 or 5 hour lives, right? Because Geminis are chatty. So the way I present myself to the world is like a Gemini, even though I'm really a Taurus. So I don't do the stuff that Geminis get in trouble for, but I can still keep up with them, right? but I have a Virgo stellium, which means Virgo takes over my chart because I have 3 Virgo placements. So the next time you hear stellium, think about, do you have the same sign at least 3 places in your chart? And for you to be a Leo sun and a Leo stellium, that means Ace is the most lying of lioness lions to have ever lioned. You understand me? He is a Leo in cap locks under the age of 25. He deserves some compensation. So I have not watched this yet. I want to watch it with you. If I hear something stupid, actually, do I want to vet it some more? If she says something stupid, then I'm going to just apologize now. But actually, no. Let's do the astrology thing last. I don't want to, because I want to make sure that we stay on task with the Love Island universe, because here's the thing. That last video I just played, or the one before it, where they said, I think it was the last one. She said, I hope whatever portal that was opened by Love Island season 7 has now officially closed, now that Chelly and Ace are no longer a couple, and they were the prom king and queen for such a very long time. I want to do Where Are They Now? I know it sounds crazy, but I think 6 months after being introduced to these kids, we need to do a Where Are They Now, because they move a lot. The girls are just flittering all over the place. And when I thought I was going to be doing this Where Are They Now, even though it's only been a couple of months, right? Because we're on a 24-hour news cycle where 3 months feels like 3 years. I was stunned by how some people are still finding a way to stretch that last 15 minutes. Other people are just hunching. It's a lot of cross-pollinating. Yeah, just interesting. I did not do a Where Are They Now on everybody. I just did it on the ones that I felt like checking on. So if one of your faves is missing, you don't have to tell me. I'm not going to go look for them. You can go find them yourselves, okay? So let's do a quick Where Are They Now? And by quick, I mean like 20 minutes.
So apparently it was 6 months ago that the Love Island USA Season 7 cast was announced. Which firstly, time just flew right on by, but secondly, so much shit has happened. Let's talk about the top most insane things that have happened since this cast was announced. Firstly, we have to talk about Yulissa and Austin, because what the actual fuck? The fact this man was reposting the most racist, disgusting shit on his page. I'm still shocked, by the way, that he stayed in the villa and Yulissa got kicked out. I still stand by they both should have got kicked out. Yeah, she said the N-word in that podcast and they yanked her ass. I'm also still not over the fact that Yulissa made a video calling herself dragging me when all I did was react to like what was happening on the season. We obviously have to talk about Alandra becoming a fashion girl. Hello? Yes. Since leaving the villa, Alandra has truly become a household name. She made really great choices. Like, she really knew what she wanted to do. She had a clear goal and vision. She took her time to select the right team, and these are the results. And of course, she's Alandra, and like, we all just love her.
Somebody said, Blue, the portal will not close. They will try time after time again to bring down Nicolandria. Well, but yeah, like, as long as they're safe and they're making their money and their brands are growing, I think it comes with the territory. I think I think the portal closes when the fever dies. Like, there's always going to be people who speculate on you when you're in the public eye. So that never goes away. But this hunger to destroy them, I do hope that closes and that dies off.
This was not a good time, but of course I'm going to address it because it was fucking insane.
I do think this is single-handedly the moment that ruined the fun. I'm sorry. I believe this is single-handedly the moment that took the fun away and made it something else that none of us enjoyed.
Island fandom was also never the same after this interview with Ace and Speedy, where Ace alludes to not believing that Nicolandria is real, which caused a rift between the Shalace and the Nicolandria fandom. Ooh. And personally, I like both the girls and support both the girls, because I'm not in the business of tearing down black women, but I also don't think it's fair that Chelly would just get all the backlash for something that Ace said. Chelly's spoken very highly about Alandra in interviews since, and also I'm pretty sure they've had a private conversation. They were spotted together also at this event, so I think that no matter what, even if they're not close, they're not best friends, and they're probably not, you know what I mean? At least they're cordial. Y'all knew this was going to make the list, but Sierra getting snatched out of that villa, her making this apology video, her also blaming the edit for the reason why people didn't like her. Which, by the way, I still believe...
The Sierra chapter was just weird to me. Sierra's more cringe than bad. She's very cringe, though.
I believe that it's her friend's fault that all this went down because she went on there and said...
Is that a bonnet? Oh, she's one of those white girls who started wearing bonnets. Ugh. Y'all Christopher Columbus everything. My God, today. And by y'all, I mean TikTok.
This is the reason why she's about to hit 1 million followers, popping up on there with her bonnet, okay? And then as soon as Sierra got dragged by the internet, both her friends quickly went up there to disassociate, which I understand why they did, actually, because, like, obviously. But then they went right back to being friends with her, clearly encouraging her to post shit, like saying that she had the villain edit. Also, I'm still not over when y'all found Marcel on.
Marcel! Oh, my God. When y'all found a person who looked like a nappy-headed version of Nick and called him Marcel, I mean, I still want to see his birth certificate.
TikTok. That shit was so funny. Now getting into more recent shit that went down, obviously this whole live stream with Huda laughing at somebody calling Alandra the N-word. And most recently, some shit went down on my live stream pertaining to Alandra and Nick in this rumor that was going around, or this narrative that was being spread, that he was cheating on her at a club. But
that nightclub footage y'all wanted me to cover, it was so sad. Like, it was barely anything to me. So I didn't cover it because I found it inconsequential. Going to a strip club with your friends does not mean, ooh, like, are you serious? The nigga's from Miami. You think he's ever been to a strip club?
Let me know if I missed anything in the comment section.
This week, a hot new bombshell.
By the way, this is the ADHD cut that I'm doing not to get a copyright strike. Because yesterday, when I uploaded all those videos to see if any of them got a copyright so I could delete them, I still got in trouble. YouTube won't even let you test things on the back end. So I'm really... This ADHD edit about me cutting every 6 to 10 seconds, that's to keep me from getting in trouble, y'all. So I apologize in advance, unless you don't mind a little bit of ADHD in your editing.
Enters the villa.
You're still here? Yeah, bro. I'm not just gonna leave you here. Oh, I got him.
Look at Jeremiah having his acting cameo debut. I think this is sweet.
Book club? Oh, we should do a book club. That'd be tough.
Jeremiah, what made you want to go on Love Island USA?
Honestly, it was a free trip to Fiji and beautiful women.
Let me write that down. Oh my God, whoever said that, I fuck with you. Oh, a book club would be tough. Cause
I am currently dating and seeing someone, and I'm all about how I feel.
Amaya, the way Amaya won the show because she was Switzerland and then nobody has... I'm poor Amaya.
I'm sorry, did Miss Amaya Papaya from Love Island USA just casually hard launch her new man?
I feel good with this person. Everything's been going great. We're taking things slow. Will you be soft launching?
First of all, I will say this. Finding out that she might be with a real man makes me relieved because we all saw that video she posted with roses all over her room, and it looked like she decorated her own room. Now, I still think she decorated the room herself, even if she had a man. I think she might be dating somebody, but I think she decorated that room herself. It might as well have had hearts over the dotting the I's and T's because it looked like a 25-year-old woman who likes the color pink decorated it. Amaya, if you have a real man, you don't have to make fake rose bet. I would play it, but I don't want to be mean because I really wish her the best.
Soon or hard launching soon? Soft launching a little hand.
I feel like so many people miss this. I missed this at first. Here is what's going on. So if you have been following Amaya closely since she left the villa, you obviously know that she went through a breakup. And she has also been hinting that she is now seeing someone new. And she has been slowly soft launching him on social media.
Sure.
For example, she just went on a brand trip in Cabo, and it looks like she brought him with her.
Wait, that's her bodyguard. Oh, God. Amaya, I was hoping you had a real man and just did a fake photo op. Your bodyguard. Allegedly. That could be her man. Let's just all say it's her man. Let's play along. Come on, man.
As you can see, she posted this photo with a bunch of hearts. And you know who else was on this brand trip? Chrishell from Selling Sunset. Now, stay with me here.
Oh, wait, Chrishell is cool with, did you guys realize, not to be late, I cut these clips only looking at the beginning and the middle. So the beginning and the end for time. So I haven't seen some of the middle parts. If you see me like, Blue, why are you reacting? You edited it. Just because I edited it, they mean I watched the whole thing. Once I make sure somebody's not racist and is making sense, I just start slicing shit because I was very, very medicated.
Chrishell posted a ton of photos from
Oh yeah, like I was saying, Chrishell's friends with Nina. Is that where Nina was? Now hold
the
on.
brand trip, including a group photo, which I'm assuming she did get Amaya's permission to post because Amaya commented on it. And in the group photo, if you zoom
that is
in,
Nina. Nina, for those who don't know, Nina Parker, she is an amazing broadcast journalist and has a clothing line. She's amazing. But because Chrishell and Nina are very close, I had a feeling Nina was there.
See Amaya with her new man.
After a recent post that Clark from Love Island USA made, a lot of people are starting to wonder if Clark is starting to get that kid feeling Taylor was talking about on the show. I also found it interesting that the caption said, "Days full of you," which kind of gives carrying your child subtly. I don't know, are they like trying to like soft launch this on?
Wait, there's rumors now that Clark might be pregnant because when she went to Taylor's house, she never left, and it's been 5 months. Is that a long-winded way of y'all telling us that Taylor is allegedly shooting up the club? I don't want to know that. Be who you are.
It feels like Ace was in on it when he said family fire emoji. Not even to mention the top comment on that she liked that just says, "Maybe my girl's just eating good." And she liked it, but like, she's super toned before the show. There's a lot of fans noticing that Taylor's hand has been on Clark's belly. He's been holding her.
Wait, why are you just screaming condoms? Wait. Melba, baby, you okay? How you just come in here screaming condoms? Not yuck, y'all. I know it's a trend. Let's wait for them to tell us if they're with child, okay? Because a child is a blessing. So I'm gonna just watch the video.
I honestly didn't even notice that. In a lot of the photos that she's been posting these last few months, she's been making sure that her belly is very covered up. I even went back to the True Religion deal they did, 'cause all the girls.
I agree that pushing pregnancy on people really is like a weird obsession we have. It's a very weird obsession.
Girls were in low-rise jeans for this ad, but Clark was actually the only one that they ended up putting in a tracksuit. And also the girls are definitely looking a little bigger than they used to when she was on the show. And her most recent brand deal being with Crocs, wearing this really oversized hoodie. You can't see any bit of belly. And people naturally speculating that with Clark never really leaving Taylor's house since the shows ended, it does kind of give they could have gotten busy and ended up giving.
Not baby 3 dreads. Oh no. Are y'all okay? Again, like I said, love is still valid even if it doesn't last. If Taylor and Clark are happy now, and yet 20 years from now he finds himself with a studs bin, who are we to judge?
Giving us what might be, is this our first Love Island baby, guys?
She don't look pregnant to me.
Swish.
Terrible.
But even if she is not.
Okay, so I've been keeping a secret from you guys. 3 years ago, on this date, I had twins. Actually, I shouldn't say that I've been hiding them because they've been right in front of you this whole time.
Is Sierra really debuting her titties? Jeremiah's doing commercials and modeling gigs and TV shows, and Sierra is unveiling her titties? Nah. I know that's not who I think it is. No, Sierra. Please tell me that you're working with a new line and this is like a brand ambassadorship. Please tell me this is for a coin and not for scraps of relevancy. Please, Sierra, I beg.
And you're looking at them. So the date was 11/11/2023, and that's when I got my breast augmentation, and it was...
Of course, Sierra got her breast done on 11/11. She probably had crystals in her panties at the same time and was, burning Nag Champa next to the doctor. What the fuck? Sierra, like, you're never beating the allegations. You're like a Pinterest board who got, like, put through a shredder. Like, why? Let me just hit play.
It was one of the best things that I ever did for myself.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Andreina.
And today we're doing a blind taste test. I'm ready. Come on.
Oh God. No, I'm not. I'm single.
We believe you.
Oh my God. Please stop.
Hey, come on.
How many times do I have to say that I'm single and I'm not dating any J? If the name starts with a J, that's not my man.
By the way, her pretending to be frustrated when this keeps her trending is I see what you're doing, girl. Look, I'm not hating.
Process of elimination, it gotta be Guava Paloma. Right?
I gotta say, this is next level marketing out of Agua de Cafer, because they already had the Nicolandria ad, and now they have this one with Jeremiah and Andrina. And it's like a nice little Christmas vibe, the whole 9 yards.
And that was a blind taste test.
You did so well.
Thank you. 3 for 3.
Lovebirds.
Now, I remember when we had the Casa Amor boys, it was 2 tall ones, one who was 6'8", the other one who was 6'5". So KK from Love Island Games, they ended up with Chris because Chris was like 10 minutes away from leaving Huda in the water. Like they had just left Love Island when they did Love Island Games. So KK and Chris didn't work out. So she just took the next tallest nigga from the Casa Amor boys. What's his boy's name? JD. Remember JD, the one who said he was Puerto Rican, but the entire time he was just Haitian? I know I tell y'all every chance I can get that I'm Haitian and Cuban. But how do you confuse Haitian with Puerto Rican? How do you like confuse it? And like he was like, but I live in Puerto Rico. Yes. It doesn't make you Puerto Rican though. If I move to Japan, I'm not going on Love Island talking about konnichiwa. Like, I'm not doing that. In the 90s, people used to lie and say they had Indian in their family, talking about I'm Kachata or whatever, and used to lie and say, you know, I'm Puerto Rican. Used to lie and say, well, they used to lie and say they were Cuban, which is why it's awkward if you actually are, because now they think you're one of them. I used to not say I was Cuban when I was in high school because I was embarrassed because I didn't want to sound like the girls who were lying about being like Afro-Latin. So him saying Puerto Rican instead of sac passe feels like a throwback on the 1990s, early 2000s self-hate train. And I think that's why it triggers us so badly. You say Puerto Rican, we hear I hate being a nigga, even though there's niggas in Puerto Rico. Awkward. Sorry. Anyways, I guess he's dating KK, child.
Chirp. What's up, F1? We're just chilling, watching the cars go by. And we got lovebirds over here.
After like a month, we have some Huda updates.
Boo! Look, I was trying to be fair. My ADHD edit dragged me to want to, for the sake of continuing the story and maybe ending, closing the portal on everybody. I think one of the last videos we did was the Huda N-word scandal. That's the one that broke into like I'm not even gonna get into that. But with the Huda N-word scandal with Olandria, we had such a long live about that. It was such an emotional live, and it had me trending all over threads and shit. It felt wrong to do a Where They Now without at least closing up this storyline. So that's the only reason we're playing this, guys. Bear with me. Well, I like that song. What song is that? Da-na-na-na. It feels romantic, like you're in the Amalfi Coast, but you're ooh. Somebody tell me what that song is. Somebody Shazam it, because I can't, because I'm using it.
Makeup artists had like posted these and then deleted them real quick. Honestly, I think this might be one of my favorite makeup looks Huda has.
Look, again, I'm not a hater. I love that makeup. That white line. Oh, that's kind of fire. Bitch, I'm gonna try that.
Ever worn. Well, it looks like it was for an event that she went to. And it looks like they were at Future's birthday party.
Future? Future invited Huda to his birthday party. Oh, Candace, I appreciate you. I was mispronouncing it on purpose, but I love you guys.
Okay. Okay.
Saying okay.
Okay. You know what I mean? You got.
Why did Future? She
looks so good. Obviously, she's with her boyfriend, Louis Russell. We got this. Huda has been laying low as of recent, but I feel like she's going to be making a comeback soon enough.
Somebody said Future trying to get the ace treatment. You mean the cheeks on the face? And then she shows up with her British biracial babe. Oh, Let's see if she gets invited to any more Futures functions.
Not only is Huda letting us know that she is making her comeback online, and that's not even the craziest part, because she's been dropping some major hints. As we all know, Huda was wrapped up in a major controversy involving a live stream with Louis Russell, where a prank caller called them and then called Alandria a slur. Fans were very upset with her reaction, and she has been taking a very long break after all of this. And although we did see that she went to Future's birthday party, we are now getting a new photo of her with Louis Russell, and it looks like they're at the gym together. And fans think that this is a major hint that she is going to be making her comeback very soon, because she has been leaving a ton of comments letting us know that it's coming. She recently commented this, which says, "Been taking care of my mental, but couldn't be more blessed to have."
Y'all, we're supposed to give up sugar to the 22nd. I'm on my cycle. I should have said until the 22nd, except for your cycle. I'm so sorry. I've actually been good this entire time, but there's no way in hell that I can be this sick with PMS, eating this level of edibles, and not fuck up a cookie. In y'all's faces, too. I ain't shit. I'm confessing before anybody else clocks it. Yeah.
You all. I'm coming back soon. And under another post, she said, "I'm coming back. I love you, babies." And lastly, she commented, "I love you all so much, and mental health is real, you all. I'm on my way back to you."
Wait, is this the camera I wanted?
Nick's doing commercials. Now you forgot as soon as the live ended. So you've been eating cookies this entire time? Now hold on now. I've been doing good on my sugar fast. I thought y'all were doing it along with me. That's why I waited till y'all were here to break it with y'all. Okay, you know what? I think you know somebody. Shout out to all the new members. I appreciate you. We are one step closer to our 1,000 goal. I will not be sharing how close we are, because every time I say how close we are, somebody spitefully unfollows just to spite me. So I'm not telling y'all. But please, we're not there yet. We're not there.
When Jack Cole finds himself on the naughty list.
Another gift card.
Nick did a live today. He did like 2 actually. He did his sponsored live with GoDaddy. If you checked it out, it was cute. It was nice. The comments though, y'all are really crazy. And some of you haters need to...
Wait, Mitson, this has nothing to do with the holiday. This is about PMS. Not y'all forsaking me. Anyway, somebody said I never agreed either. Oh, you know what?
Stay off their pages and just go to your other people's pages. Stop being a hater.
Did I nail it?
No, well, please! Get out of his girlfriend's life. He'll have to make things right with that.
By the way, how much money do y'all think Nick is making? Somebody said low 6 figures, high 5 figures a month. How much do y'all think he's making?
Help of Santa's best.
But then Nick did it after live and it was bumping. I think it was sub only, I'm not sure, but other people were sharing clips, so I'm just going to show my screenshots. But he had his shirt off, he had all his friends, it was a vibe, the music was good.
Now Jack has to find the perfect gift.
Really?
Okay, I think he might be a million. I do too. The number of y'all saying buckets. I want numbers. I love how I said how much and not a single person gave me a number. Thank you. Somebody said 500K a month. That's richer than that fucking salted caramel cookie I just fucked up in front of y'all. And did love y'all.
Be left out in the cold.
Come on.
He ended it with Mr. Brightside. Love that song. If you know, you know. I'm so happy. I know Nick and Orlando are doing like their separate business ventures, which is fine.
I can see 100K a month, but 100K a month is either spot on or ridiculously low. I'm torn because it has been a very long time since that Fresh Love Island tea, but they keep booking shit. But then there are a lot of things that you think are paying a lot of money that are more a look than a paycheck. I can tell you that from the industry. There have been times where I've been on major shows where I didn't get anything. And there were times where I was on a little rinky-dink network that was a startup that paid me a lot because I was a big fish in a small pond. So sometimes the bigger brand deals can actually make you less money because they think that their brand legacy is a payment in itself. And sometimes somebody just getting started will give you their entire budget because they believe in you. Somebody said $350 a month. There's an OnlyFans / TikTok creator who went viral for saying she made $300K a month. I could see that. That's a lot of fucking money.
We miss them as a couple. I miss that couple content, but
Aren't you supposed to be helping?
You're missing the big picture, Jack.
Picture. A camera.
Now you're thinking.
I'm a grown up. They're grown ups. They can do what they need to do, and I'm here for each and every one of them.
But nothing compares to you, Noelle.
Oh my god, a camera?
Unwrap the perfect present with the Naughty Lister.
First of all, that girl from Summer House. So, bruh, I have a friend who's telling me about some of the stuff they're doing for the holidays with different brands. And some of these are major brands and they're not even televised. It's just internet stuff. And some of them are like high 5 figures, low 6 figures for the internet. I'm living wrong. I'm up here trying to do God's word.
Hold up. $5.
Not actually.
He like, what's up, baby? Shit, me.
So Alandria went on Angel Reese's podcast, and can I
know there's no way in hell I wouldn't add Alandria and Chelly to the edit. Come on. Y'all know.
say our girl is media trained.
Y'all would be too if y'all could stay about my business.
She was asked about her friendship with Chelly. Angel was just like, I love how close you and Chelly were on the show. What does that look like now? Angel messy because she know they not close now, but
Bitch, my bad so big I should be coming down your chimney.
Landria was like, oh yeah, we were really close on the show, and then diverted somehow flawlessly to her.
But he did videos with the Kardashians because I haven't kept up with these kids. Y'all think that I always catch up with them? I only research them when it's time to do a video, because after September, I really did pull away from the whole fandom.
Friendships back home and how close she is with her friends and her family back home. And like in Love Island, you know, you want to create friendships and sisterhoods over the 6 weeks you're there. Child, she did not reference Chelly again after that.
All I do is step on shit like fuck that. Call me Stephanie.
Yeah, I know Sierra is very well paid. I just thought she was boring and a little bit Danish deception-ish in her dating proclivities on Summer House.
It wasn't even like, oh, let's get back to the original question. She diverted and rerouted all the way up to an answer where Angel was just like, okay. And I was just like, wow.
On beats, on bitches.
This woman is so media trained. I forgot the question. And I didn't even realize she didn't answer it until way later.
Because I feel like you and Chelly are like super, super close. And like you took that away from the villa. So you going on there, did you feel like you were able to build that strong bond with her?
Messy.
Bitch, I see what you did there.
We all know we all know the moment that Angel's trying to create.
I know.
Like sisterhood means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I literally grew up with two sisters in my household. So one thing about even with my
You know, so funny. You see how Alandria had no reaction. She was like, no, sisterhood. Bitch, she asked you about Chelly. Sisterhood means so much to me. I grew up with two sisters. That's a massive level of pivot, y'all. That pivot was so smooth. You didn't even taste it.
friends, like my at-home friends, like
She slid right out of that question. Like a greased pig.
something I've always cherished. A lot of my friends, I've been friends with some for 20 years, some for 10, 13 years or whatever. So like building that bond, that sisterhood, something that's always been so important to me. So like when I went to the village,
said, and I quote, 2026, my haters are going to be pissed. Stay mad, stay tuned. Enough being humble, 2026 is my cocky year. Should have left me alone. Hashtag.
Enough being humble. 2026, I'm about to be in my cocky. You should have left me alone. I don't mind it.
Miss last live. Wait, does that mean I get to crash out? Wait.
How do my parents feel raising a mean girl?
By the way, I wanted to include how Chelly hopefully is at the healing stage because now she control people. I love that control, not control, control, TROLL people about things that used to bring her to tears. So that's always a great sign.
They said I get it from them. They meaner than me. Shit.
What's my favorite meal? Is that what they
I
asked?
cook. Now you being slow.
No. Wow. Why would you even say that?
I'm
That's
sorry,
so
that was-
mean.
We know Linda's a Gemini. We know.
Hashtag mean girl Chelly. Drop it in the
Y'all, I just want to get on here and say, first of all, my makeup eats.
Now this video, guys, is from yesterday. I wanted to fade out of this live that was done under duress because I'm sick. I wanted to fade out of this live with us reminding ourselves, Chelly's okay. Chelly's okay. This is Chelly yesterday.
Down. Hair still looks fire. That's not what I came here to say though. But your girl has been working her ass off, okay? Yesterday I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Went to a shoot, then I had an event, then I had my flight. From my flight, I had my 2 shoots, and now the day is almost over. And I finally get to sleep. I did not really get to sleep on the plane, but through it all, I still look like a baddie. Period.
I'm super excited. It was really tough. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
This is me making fun of all the fandoms because this is what y'all look like after 6 months of beating each other's asses. Y'all not tired? I'm tired. I'm a spectator. I'm on the peripheral and I'm exhausted. I don't get it.
It was definitely a different ball game.
Serena has officially addressed the speculations of her getting engaged this past week.
Oh, I also want to do some recaps on my 2 or 3 faves from season 6, the pure season, where things were actually happening organically because the blueprint hadn't been created yet. Because it seems like the girls are doing well. And I think the biggest difference between Love Island season 6 and season 7 is season 7 is full of clout chasing moments and questionable motives and tons of breakups. This season, season 6, the couples that ended together, most of them stayed together. I think it was like 3 couples that ended together, and 2 out of 3 are not only still together, but advancing and thriving. And so I think the message is that for the long game, being organic and sincere is always the best choice. The short game of playing dirty is you're going to be an international phenom for 15 minutes. But when you are yourself and you happen to catch a lick and you ride it out with people that you love and you have each other's backs, we're talking about how we're tired 5 months after we met these people, 6 months after they were announced. These folks are 18 months in. Rumors of getting engaged, buying property. I think this part of the where they now underscores why I think for me, if I had to pick between being on season 6 or 7, I would have picked season 6. It might be an unpopular opinion. Tell me in the comments, guys, when this is over, not the comments in the chat, because that's a different comment, but for the rewatch gang or for people in the chat who are going to want to comment afterwards, please say in the replay comments, would you rather be, I would rather be in season 6 because it was the perfect balance, or I would rather be in season 7 because it was the most lit. Pick your sentence. Usually I have one sentence. This time I'm doing a choose your own adventure. I would have rather been in season 6 because it was more well-balanced, or I would have rather been in season 7 because it was more lit. I'm curious to see if anybody says something other than what I think the majority, and mind you, we won't judge you. I'm just curious about what people think is worth it or not. Because some people can say season 7 was worth it simply because of the money.
A lot of people saw Serena and Cordell basically blend their families together and have a blended Thanksgiving. So a lot of people were like, did Cordell propose? And honestly, we can see it happening for them because they have been locked in, guys. They have been just the sweetest to watch, honestly, since Love Island. And honestly, I could totally see them getting married. However, she has made this post on Snapchat addressing the speculations. A person commented on her Snapchat saying, got any new jewelry lately? And Serena said, bruh, I swear y'all should be some private investigator. It's just a promise ring, guys. Y'all know, well, if it was an engagement, it would be a rock, honey. Okay, and that's T. So it's not an engagement ring, but it is in fact a promise ring.
I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but it looks like Leah and Miguel have officially moved into their new home. Obviously, owning a home is a big deal, but also the fact that Miguel and Leah are settling down in this way, like this is some real marriage stuff, I just gotta say.
The person who's saying 7 for real love, for fame, and 6 for real love, we already know those are the options. You have to pick one. Telling us what they stand for is not I want to know. You have to pick one. Pick one. And don't forget, put it in the recap comments, because those are the ones I look at.
And from the photos that Leah shared on her Instagram page, it just looks so freaking stunning. It also makes so much sense for them. Like, it's in the greenery. Like, you know, Leah said that she wanted to have, like, you know, a barn on her property. Look at that driveway, by the way. Okay, I'm obsessed with that. I just gotta say. Miguel's up in here building stuff. Very hubby energy. Serena and Janae also commented, and I think their comments are so cute. Serena commented mom and dad, and Janae commented, yay. Now, which one is my room?
Not season 6 plus Olandria. Now y'all making up shows. Okay, season 6 plus Olandria. Y'all doing math now?
Also, very fucking mood and very fucking valid, because I would be asking the same thing. Like, where's my guest room, honey? Because this beautiful house, I would be coming to visit for sure. Okay. Anyway, congratulations to Leah and Miguel. I'm super excited to see
They're a
like
beautiful
the
couple.
home tour / like the home decor. I don't know if anybody like really loves that stuff like I do, but I actually really enjoy seeing like how people build their homes because it really is a reflection of like people's personal taste. And we already know Leah got taste.
Oh,
Okay.
for listeners said they eat dried mango. I fucked up a whole bag of mangoes last night, so I have them for my cycle. They're just gone. So I ate a cookie. We're okay, guys. As soon as my cycle is over, we're going right back to the sugar challenge.
So you know it is going to be cute and cozy, and it might inspire me, child, as I, look for my future home.
So I used to date Jeremiah from Love Island, and I wasn't gonna make a video because.
By the way, for those who like to do spoilers, if you've seen this video before, keep it to yourself and do not spoil it in the chat. I'm going to repeat. If you have seen this video before, do not spoil it in the chat and let everybody else enjoy it for the first time. Okay? None of that. Oh my God, I've seen this video, and at the end, guys, think about in real life how obnoxious that would be. Okay? All right.
I felt like that's kind of clout chasey, but I just watched that episode where he was talking about saying I love you to 10 women, and as one of those 10 women, I figured I would.
So this video is one of Jeremiah's exes.
Share my lore. I moved to LA after graduating from Howard in 2021 with my poli-sci degree. I moved because aside from being a misinformation and extremism researcher, I'm a professional makeup artist. And
guys, I want you guys to tell me what you think about his ex. Are you surprised that this is someone he dated? What are your first impressions? Keep it respectful. I'm just curious. You'll see why in a second.
And so I wanted to focus on my craft and develop my portfolio. As you might know, Jeremiah is originally from Washington, but by spring 2023, he was traveling a lot to LA to do shoots. And I was doing a lot of collabs with up and coming models and artists. We ended up meeting on set. I did male grooming for him for this photo shoot. We met on set, and
the person was saying, why do we care? I'm saying you're going to find out by the end of the video. So do you want me to spoil it for you guys? If I'm sharing it, just assume there's a point.
I normally try not to date people that I work with, but he is a very attractive man, and I've always had a soft spot for very pretty men. So he pursued me, and ultimately by the end of that summer, we were dating pretty consistently. He ended up signing to LA Models, moving to LA, and that was my man. Or so I thought, actually.
The person was saying they want to spoil the end so bad, but don't. Because it's obnoxious, especially after I've explicitly asked. Somebody needs to research how y'all can't let people enjoy things that you got to enjoy. I really want somebody to do research on that. And I'm not shaming. I'm very curious. Why is it when someone has experienced something purely, they feel such a burning desire to take that experience away from somebody else? It's not you, babe. It's a lot of people in here and struggle not to spoil things. And I really want to know why.
Because I just lied to you for a minute straight. But if you let me explain why, you'll get it. I research how online narratives impact our democracy. I'm making this video to prove to y'all how susceptible we all are.
So this girl is not Jeremiah's ex. She lied.
The things that we see online. Half of what I told you is true. I am a makeup artist. I did graduate from Howard, and I did move to LA. But I've never met that man a day in my life. Sorry to Jeremiah. I manipulated the truth, used information that I accessed from Jeremiah's public-facing accounts to create a narrative that fit the story I was trying to tell. And while you might just think this is simple clout chasing, that's how bad actors manipulate the public. And that is what we're seeing right now with the narratives around the ICE raids. I used real details from his life and mine that if anybody wanted to check, they could see and would further validate the story that I told you. But it wasn't true at all. My motivation behind deceiving you today was to educate you and exemplify just how easy it is to fall for disinformation narratives. These platforms are curated information ecosystems, and they show you what you want to see, but not necessarily what the truth is.
I have a Love Island hot take that's going to make a lot of you guys mad, and that is that the biggest bully of season 7 was the audience. Y'all were riding so hard for these strangers like the Red Hats rode for the Pillsbury Doughboys' evil twin. And the funny thing is, I was watching Love Island way before it was even poppin', and now that I've taken a break and came back this season, I said I don't even want to watch next season because what was this? All that blatant hate, bullying, harassment, and racism was just not warranted. It was not needed. I feel like a lot of people did not know or never learned that these are parasocial relationships. These people we're supporting are complete strangers. We don't know them. We don't know what they're thinking. Reality TV is manufactured. It is part reality because the people we see on there are real people.
Exactly.
They have personalities. They may not be the most authentic because they're put in a situation where they can't really be fully themselves. And the other part of it is the producers changing the narrative, making those cuts, turning one one conversation into another one. What you see may not be really exactly what it is. We as humans tend to push our insecurities, our lives, our perspectives onto complete strangers when we're consuming that type of content. We have all met somebody that is like this person on TV, but the truth is they are not that person. And we're projecting those you see what I'm saying here? And for the ones who are doing this mob mentality in the comment sections under these people's posts on a regular basis, I feel like it is because you are feeling lonely. You feel like doing this is giving you some sense of excitement, some sense of belonging, and it's not healthy. And I'm not talking about the people who are actually having productive conversations. I'm talking about the people who are doing too much. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with supporting a complete stranger. We do it every single day. But one thing you will never catch me doing is creating racist memes in general. You will never catch me calling CPS or ICE on somebody. And you will never, ever, ever catch me arguing in the comment section. I will have discussions. You will see.
I've been watching Love Island for about almost 10 years. I've been watching it since the second season in UK. So yeah, it definitely has changed. But for those people saying it's changed, can we be honest? There's been like 2 or 3 deaths linked to the Love Island UK, and all of them were indirectly or directly tethered to public perception and bullying. So even though the bullying in the UK is more covert, doesn't mean it's less deadly. Nobody's died in America yet, God forbid. So people have died as a result of the fervor of fandom in the UK. So this myth that it just turned ugly, I don't think that's true, because I think people unaliving themselves, the host included, I think 2 contestants and a host all unalive themselves while tied to Love Island in the UK. So be clear, Americans are more blatant, but the franchise has been in some shit for a while now.
There's comments out there. I will put my 2 cents in, but I will never go back and forth with somebody the way that y'all was going back and forth in these comment sections.
So Love Island season 8, the people who get on it, the casting, listen to me. Instead of trying to read.
Yes, it's 2 seasons on Caroline Flack, and there's a Hulu documentary about her for anybody who is not a Love Island OG and has never heard of her. Now, this, I wanted to end up, for those who are asking about the video, I'm going to do that astrology video another time because I am very much sick and my body is starting to say we need to lay down. I wanted to end this with a young lady who is pitching what she thinks we need more of and less of for Love Island season 8. This is one of those videos I haven't watched yet. I hope it's good. If it's not, I'll just cut it short. But I would love to hear what some of you think season 8 should be, because how do you follow up the Hot Mess Express clusterfuck ratings darling that was season 7? Season 7 was grotesque and profitable simultaneously. And Peacock isn't known for their humanity, I'm just saying.
He Nicolandria, right? Because that's a one-time banger. Because this one was a Cinderella story right here, right? And then season 6, the big it couple was a slow burn, right? Friends to lovers. Cinderella, friends to lovers, black girls eating up these tropes. We now need enemies to lovers. Not a racist though, right?
Lovers.
Okay? I don't know how y'all gonna do it. I don't know who's gonna do it. But this is our reality TV.
Wait, enemies to lovers, like the will they, won't they? They hate each other at first, and then they start falling for each other. That could be sexy as long as it's not like
version of Bridgerton, very unclassy. So you feel me? Give me yearners. Give me I really, 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 really want you. This one was a yearn because we saw it, but they didn't see it. Or at least that's what they tried to tell us. But I want them to know and then be like, no, but then be like, no, but not toxic, right?
Not
Put
toxic.
that in your little like Love Island generator or whatever and figure it the fuck out. But if we're gonna do season 8, we need psychological tests, okay?
Yep.
I'm done with the crazy bitches.
They're saying, sorry guys, I'm looking for a Love Island, one video that I realized I didn't put in. So that's why I'm looking down. But they have psychological tests and medical testing. That's why Nick said the herpes thing was so hurtful, because they test them for STIs and such. And they have psychological counseling. And they said Huda was talking to the therapist like every day. So whoever they have, it's not being effective from what we've seen.
Sorry, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to ever experience what we experienced last season in terms of manipulation and gaslighting, whether male or female. No racist, okay? You guys want to not give a fuck about politics? Cool. At least give a fuck about human rights and black people, okay? You know, no evil masterminds. If you're on Love Island for clout, my dog, cool. But at least also be on Love Island for fucking love. Take the experience very fucking serious. Please and fucking thank you. You're there to find a wife or a husband, okay? This is your Cinderella moment, ho. You're a Disney princess.
Wait, I don't think you're there to find a husband. That might be overstating
This is the
it.
fucking. We want drama, but we specifically want romance. Give it K-drama. Oh!
Oh, I love
Enemies
K-drama.
to lovers. K-drama. But then maybe we can't have a little crazy because you gotta have like, you know, the one person that specifically continuously gets in between them because they want that person. And a side piece. So make sure the bombshells are actually, you know, in the casas is casa in.
I agree with that part.
If y'all need somebody to tell you if somebody is fine or not, hey, I could do it.
So she actually, I think she had some great ideas. I do love the lovers to friends thing. Because, I think I just found the video. This is the last video I want to play. And then we are going to bed. I love the fact that me trying to do a short live still ended up being an hour and 40 something minutes. But hold on, let me pull up this last video. And this is a sentiment. The reason I'm playing this video is because I've been seeing the sentiment in the comments this entire live.
I don't want to see any black people on the next season or 2 of Love Island.
Do y'all agree?
It's not because I don't think black people deserve love or Instagram sponsorship.
My bad. I mean, friends to lovers. Yikes.
It's because the discourse that comes from us being on these shows
Yep.
is more exhausting than the actual show.
Yep.
Because if the black people don't date each other, it's a problem. But if they do date each other, but they're not the right shade or the right socioeconomic status, then that causes a problem. Then, if there's more than one likable black person of the same sex, we gotta pit them against each other. I think next season, let's get some fine-ass Asians. Get some Asians on these shows. That's what.
Love Island France had a lot of Asian people, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. It was like 4 out of 8 of them were Asian.
We need.
So, guys, do we want... See, this is the thing about Love Island that's tricky. It's the gift that keeps on giving, where on one hand, I cannot stand how they cannibalize Black women and use them as collateral, but also it gives everybody, if you end up being chosen or a favorite, the chance of a lifetime. Olandria's life has changed in a way that I don't see it ever doing to this degree, at this speed, with this depth and quality and range globally without Love Island. So it's a roll of the dice. You cannot go on Love Island like Chelly, determined to be cautious because they'll see you as cold. Because you know it's a catch-21 for people of color. You can't go like Ace or Taylor trying to co-produce it. I do think Olandria did it in the best way possible, where she was dignified but sincere and not trying to run the show. I think the reason why Olandria is doing so well is she had Chelly's dignity and Ace's humor, but none of their control. I think both of them I think the one thing that Shalace had in common, and that probably they bonded over, was this desire to control a narrative and to be storytellers in a way that in another realm would have been great, but for reality television, not so much. So if they were to, let's say, write a script or start producing content, those skills would have been awesome. But on a reality show where vulnerability is considered a commodity, you can't be a control freak. And who better to learn a public lesson about not being a control freak and the pitfalls of assuming that you can't even control anybody but yourself than a Leo and a Virgo. Not y'all catching strays. I wish them both the best. I really do. I sincerely hope that, even though he probably will never tell us, that Ace took his licks in private and is actually growing from this. I do hope Ace grows from this because, again, guys, y'all keep missing this part. I was an Ace fan a year ago, before Ace was on Love Island. I was constantly posting his videos of him dancing with people to Not Like Us in Pakistan and old ladies. Like, I was an Ace fan, and the show talked me out of clapping for him. I hope that the glimpse of Ace that I saw last year comes back as a grown man. And for Chelly, child, she might be a wag somewhere. She might be doing her Meg Thee Stallion Clay a year from now. Who knows? I'm curious. All right, guys, that's enough for today's live. I hope I did a decent job considering how sick I am. I am going to go lay down right now, and you're probably not going to see me till Tuesday. So until then, I adore y'all. And please write in the comments for the recap, which would you rather be? Which would you rather be? Season 6, because it was the perfect balance, or season 7 because it was extra lit? I want to know. All right, love you, family. Bye.